This is a potato. Now don't worry, this is not a white potato versus sweet potato type of post. Oh, the GI is too high in the white potato. It's not complex enough. We're not talking about that today. We're talking about something called satiety. Satiety is ultimately how full you feel when you're eating foods. And the potato was the winner in a 1995 study that they created around the Common Foods Satiety Index. And ultimately this was how full you felt when you ate 240 calories of certain foods. So let's pull the study up. Let's start with the bakery products. Least filling, we have croissant, which was actually the lowest scoring food in this study. And it was actually 7 times less filling than the humble boiled potato. And the most filling bakery product was a cracker. I've never gotten a cracker from a bakery. That would be a very sad experience. Snacks and confectionery. The least filling was a Mars bar. Delicious. The most filling was popcorn. Breakfast cereals, the least filling was muesli, and the most filling was porridge. Protein-rich foods, the least filling was lentils. White bread is actually the lowest in this graph, but it was just there to compare to. And the most filling was fish. Carbohydrate-rich foods, we have the least filling, which is French fries, and the most filling, which was the potato, which I explained earlier. And in fruit, the least filling is banana, and most filling is orange. There are 2 things that I see in common with the least filling foods in comparison to the most filling foods. And these things are more processed foods and higher fat content in general. Now, it's pretty clear to see when we go from potatoes to French fries that the potatoes are most filling and the least filling in the carbohydrate sources are French fries. Potatoes are French fries. They've just been deep fried in oil. That makes them more processed. So they have more calories in them because of the higher fat content. Another pretty simple example is porridge to muesli. Porridge is just oats cooked in water. You can cook it in milk as well if you want, or soak it in orange juice if you do birch muesli and all of that. But muesli is sometimes coated in honey, sometimes added sugar, there's dried fruits in it and things like that. And there is fats in it sometimes with nuts and with coconut. Now, I'm not saying muesli is a bad food, however, it's just least filling. So if you were going to try and stay full on a diet, porridge is going to beat muesli. The biggest thing we can take away from this is the fact that calories are not all made equal. 2,000 calories of boiled potatoes versus 2,000 calories of Mars bars are the same in terms of energy, right? So let's look at a calorie as a kilometer. A kilometer is a kilometer. A calorie is a calorie in terms of what it represents, but how you feel when you consume 2,000 calories of potatoes versus 2,000 calories of Mars bars is going to be very different. If you have 2,000 calories of Mars bars, you're going to feel less full. This is why our diets are failing. Satiety is not there. Most people fail their diet and then they end up on the weekend at the bottom of a Ben & Jerry's tub with Macca's on their lap, and then it's, diet starts Monday, let's go. And then Monday to Friday, they're continually restricting themselves. Restricting, and on that restriction, they may not be making the best food choices to feel full on those lower calories. And then when they get to the weekend, they can't handle the restriction of the calories and the not feeling full aspect of dieting, and then on the weekend they just binge. The key to dodging this, although diets are multifaceted, is staying full, making better choices. And this is why I harp on about the 80-20 rule. 80% of our nutrition should be consumed with high satiety foods, unprocessed food, foods that are nutrient dense. 20% of our diet can be hyper processed, highly palatable foods like cakes, like donuts, like croissants, like Mars bars that we saw on the least filling. But the most filling foods should make up the majority of our diet. And that is how we stay ahead of the game and not fail our diets, because we're feeling full. Because if you don't feel full, you'll want to give up on your diet. And yes, diets are hard. They are a form of controlled starvation if you want to look at it like that. But they are even harder when you're not feeling full and also when you're not seeing results. So I'm not telling you to eat potatoes every single day and make sure that you eat potatoes, but watch how full you feel on a diet. If you're not feeling full, is your fiber high enough? Are you eating foods that are high in satiety? Take a look at the study, the Common Foods Satiety Index. I'll put it in the link on the description of this video, and hopefully it'll help you actually stick to a diet, because this is what I preach with my clients. With flexible dieting, you can ultimately eat whatever you want within the calories that you have, but there's a difference between feeling great on your calories and just getting by, or feeling completely shit on your calories and feeling like the diet's really hard, and that probably comes down to the foods that you're eating within those calories.